My name's Elizabeth Davenport. I just turned 30 and I will be a millionaire in 5 years. Let's talk about it. I don't share this to brag. I share this to show that just a regular person sitting in her bedroom that is a teacher can achieve this. And so I want to tell you how you can achieve it too, or at least what I've been doing. So maybe you could take one or two things from here. The first is making money. So you have to make money to be able to do something with it, right? If I don't have any money, I can't save it, I can't invest it, I can't do anything with it. So you first have to make money. Maybe it's with your W-2 job. This can be a great tool. Maybe you make $40,000 a year. Maybe you make 80. Maybe you make $200,000 a year. And so if you can learn how to earn more with your regular day job, this will help you so much. And this helped my husband and I be able to save more and invest more because I went from my regular salary to being able to make 90%, I think almost 100% more. I doubled my income. And so that gave us more money to be able to invest and to save. And so figuring out how you can make more money per hour does matter, right? If you're an anesthesiologist, you're going to make more than a barista or as a teacher. And so finding a job or earning the education and the skills to be able to make a higher income is critical, but it's also not the only way. And I'll share how I've been able to make more money without being a cardiologist or having a W-2 job that makes $250,000 a year. The second thing is living below your means. This is a millionaire habit, and I could put a list of millionaire habits and I will talk about that. But I actually have been engaging in habits of millionaires. I realized I wanted financial freedom. I realized I wanted multiple millions of dollars. And so I was like, okay, what do millionaires do? What are their habits? How do they get there? And so this can help you in any area of your life. If you want to be healthy or if you want to achieve something, look at what that person that you want to do has done. And then you can add those habits or do those things in your own life and pick the ones that feel good for you. So all living below your means is spending less than you make. And so you can do this in a multitude of ways. One of the best things you can do is to lower your cost of living. And so if you can live with roommates, if you can live with your parents or family members for a little bit, if you can live further out. I know my husband and I spent 7 years and our house payments were like $1,000, if that. And so that really helped us because we had a lot more money to do other things with. And so live below your means. I know in a lot of financial education videos, they talk about scrimping and saving and budgeting hardcore. And maybe that is something you do for a short period of time, but I don't want that for you for your whole life. It's not fun to act like you're poor for your whole life just to eventually have money. And maybe that's the sacrifice you want to make. I know we did a lot of that where we spent way below our means and we didn't really need to, but we wanted our bigger vision and our freedom and our time more. And so we were willing to do that. But I do think you need to have some type of balance. And there is a book called The Millionaire Fast Lane that can help you become a millionaire faster and to help you make more money so you don't have to just scrimp and save and eat rice and beans for the rest of your life. A critical part of this journey is to make your money work. And so I was always a saver. So, right, like I paid myself first, or I would at least not spend everything that I made. I've always been a saver since I was little. And that made a big difference too by starting young and by starting to have that habit. But you need to make your money work for you. This is a critical concept for millionaires, multimillionaires, and wealthy people. They work hard for their money, potentially, but then they make their money work harder. And so once you get money, you see money as little soldiers going out to go fight for you and to go build for you. And so you want these little builders to build you and maximize more money for you. And so we started investing in the stock market. You can invest in other income producing assets. There's a ton out there, but my favorite and the one I know the most is the stock market. You can invest in something like a low-cost index fund that returns about 10% over time. You get access to the top performing companies and then the average of that, and you get the 10%. And over time, it has the stock market goes up and down, and those index funds go up and down in bear and bull markets. But over time, it averages out 10%. So you're always still at a plus. And so it's not just that you get 10% over time, it also compounds. And I think this is something a lot of people don't fully understand because it takes time to make a lot of money with the stock market. But I could show you here, if you invest $500 a month for 30 years, look at how much money you make and look at the difference on the graph on how much money was compounded and that you didn't invest. And then look at this with 40 years and look at this with 50 years. It's insane. all that extra money, it's because of the time. So you're not going to make that money right away. It does take time, but the earlier you can start investing and doing this, or the more money you can invest, you're going to be able to be a millionaire easily, even just with $100, $200 a month or $500 if you're willing to take enough time. And so what we were able to do is to invest early or ish and invest more. The more money you can pour into these types of investments, the faster you will get there. Now, I have a lot of friends and people who are really good at real estate or really understand that game. And so if you do, or with Airbnbs or something, then go for it. Do what you understand. I think that's helped us as well, is being open and willing to try new things or learn new things, but to also stick with what we know and to figure out this is what I feel most comfortable with and this will work. And so I'm going to stick with this strategy and just go for it. An example of someone really successful who did this was Warren Buffett, who did get to know investing and who is one of the best, if not the best investors of all times, in all time. He just invested. He didn't do a bunch of real estate or anything like that, he stuck with what he knew. And so I think that's a valuable lesson for us all. Another key part of this was decision and sacrifice. And so we decided what we wanted, and we decided like, hey, I don't want to work this job forever, or hey, I want to have the choice to do it. I want the choice. And so we decided, and then we figured out what would need to happen and what we need to do, but also what we would need to give up. And so you have to be willing to go, hey, I really want this. Like, most people want a fit body. Most people want to be richer. Most people want to be happier. But are you willing to do what is required to get there? And so maybe you're not willing to just eat on rice and beans or live further out or live with family or whatever, or get the education required to earn a higher income. Maybe you're not willing to do that or take a risk, where a lot of rich and successful people, they took a lot of risks and then they got rewarded, but a lot of people aren't willing to take that risk. So you just have to decide for yourself, are you willing to do it or not? And are you willing to sacrifice it or not? And some people said, we will live like no one else will for 5 years, 10 years, but that's because then we will live like no one else can. And it's not about other people or doing like more than other people. It's really about you and your own journey. So don't get that confused. But you have to decide what you're willing to do and what you're willing not to do. Key part of this has been to increase income and to see value and worth. And so you could change jobs. I've changed jobs before. To change companies. I've changed companies before. And that, like I said, helped me almost double my income. But you also have to be willing to create and maybe create more value. And so whether you go back and you earn more skills, learn more skills, you get a different education, you go get a different W-2 job, but maybe you are more business inclined. Maybe you want to provide products and services. Maybe you have a skill you can leverage. And so for me, that has been so huge, being able to come online. I have a book that I'm going to offer. I've been able to create content and connect with people. It's like the coolest, most fun thing ever. Like, I love it. And it might be helpful to me one day, or I can make a little bit of money off of it. Like, how cool is that? It's the ikigai, right? Where you do something you love, do something you can get paid for, do something that helps others, and it's just going to change the world and change your own life. So it's like the coolest thing. But how can you provide products, services? And MJ DeMarco talks a lot about this. It's the law of affection. How can you provide more value to people and then impact and affect more people? Some people also like offer a service. Like, I have a friend who does that, offers this high ticket service, and it's very, very niche. And then she gets a lot of money off of that, and she doesn't have to have hundreds of clients or thousands of clients. So find products, find services, find ways to make money faster. If you're looking to make money faster, read The Millionaire Fastlane. I love it. I love Think and Grow Rich for multiple reasons, but The Millionaire Fastlane would be the other one I recommend if you are more business minded or willing to create an app or create a service or create a subscription or something like that. It'll help you to be wealthier faster. One thing that was helpful as well is to do an inventory and to really like expose yourself with your finances and to actually look. And I talk about this in the book, and you have to do an audit and an inventory. You have to look at your bank statements. You have to go highlight and circle things, figure out actually how much you make right now. How much do you make before taxes? How much do you make after taxes? If you're married, how much does your partner make? How much do you guys totally make? What are you spending on? Sometimes you'll be shocked. I know one time when we first did this, I was shocked with how much we spent on groceries, and we didn't even buy anything crazy. But I was like, what? That's how much we spent on groceries? This is nuts. And so it's like, I'd rather cut back a little bit on groceries so we have more money for this. And so just getting aware is something that I think people don't value enough or don't understand enough. This can help in every aspect of your life, like self-awareness, the more awareness you have. But then if you go, oh, I'm spending 200 extra bucks on this or 500 bucks or $1,000 on this, I would rather cut back and then be able to invest that in a Roth IRA, which a Roth IRA is one of the best things you can do. One of those taxable, tax advantaged accounts that will help you to be a millionaire. If you just invest and max out a Roth IRA, which is about $7,000 a year for 40, 50 years, you'll be a millionaire just by doing that. So there's lots of options out there. But Ramit Sethi, he talks about living a rich life for you. And so that's where you don't want to spend $500 on something you don't want to spend $500 on. Move that money to somewhere you do want to spend it. And the only way to do that is to get aware. And don't be afraid of looking at your money. Some people just don't want to look at it, but you're never going to get better at it if you just ignore it or hide it away. Be willing to look poor. I know some people have even commented or on the videos, and I totally get it and I respect it, and I would love to like have an office set up eventually for the videos, but it's like, wait, you don't look like a millionaire. And so it's interesting, just because you don't, actually some of the people who don't look like millionaires are millionaires or multimillionaires, and I'm not quite yet, but part of the reason they will is because they're not spending the money on trying to look wealthy. Now, I will caveat this, that there's a lot of people who look wealthy that are wealthy. So don't just think, oh, they have a really nice car or a really nice house or something, or live in a great neighborhood, they must spend all their money on that. That's not true. Okay. That's true for some people, but there's a lot of people who have the money and that do also have the nice things. And so part of that is eventually we will have all those nice things or more nice things, but it's the period right now of sacrifice so that we will buy back our time and invest more in assets or income producing assets, that then we can use our assets to pay for those nicer things. And so be careful with perception and also be comfortable with yourself. I think back in the day, I would want to project a certain image, or like I thought I had to do certain things, and then I realized I don't have to do any of that. Cut that up and trim that all away and throw all those beliefs away and just show up how you want to. No one else has to live your life. You're the one who has to live it. So live it how you want. Lastly, I will say to learn, to get mentors, to decide what you want, and then believe that you can. Believe that you can achieve it in your life. Believe that you can earn more money. Believe that you're deserving of it and that you can do this. And it's not because you want to get money just because, right? It's for freedom. It's for time. It's to take care of yourself. It's to be able to choose what you do in your life, to be able to impact more people. And so it's not a selfish thing. It's not a bad thing. And so decide that you want it and then be bold enough to go for it or to make those sacrifices. Know that it will take time. There's ways to speed it up if you want to. And so I could talk more about that, how you can speed it up, how you can different directions you can take, because everyone is different. Some people are going to want to do this. Some people are going to want to do that. Some people want to do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And that's okay. You have to find what's going to work for you. We're all individual. You are all, and we are all unique. And that's a good thing. So how can we play to our unfair advantages? How can we play to our strengths and be able to create the lives that we love and be able to impact more people? All right, I hope this video was helpful for you. We just scratched the surface with some key concepts that have helped, but there's so many things and how I've changed my mindset and habits and how rich people think and more actions that I'm happy to share with you. If you want more, let me know in the comments below. Let me know specific questions. I could tailor specific videos to help you guys. I just want to help people live happier and healthier lives, and I will keep showing up and I will keep trying to support you on your journey, and we will all grow and rise together. Thanks for being here. You've got this. Keep learning, working, and growing. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.